Hello and welcome to Four Little Bears. Today we're going to make a gift tag organizer. I'll be using Echo Park, the 12 by 12 paper pad, Gnome for Christmas. This is a look at my original design. And you can see how it holds all your tags. This is what we're going to be making. So start with a 12 by 12 piece. Cut the branding strip up. And then cut this piece to 6 1/4 by 10. You're really going to want to cut this at 6 1/4. I cut mine at 6, and as you'll see later on, it's just barely fits inside when you make your boxes. So give yourself a little wiggle there. Then we're going to score at 4 1/2 and 5 1/2. And this is going to make your main box body. So next I'll cut the back left pocket. You want to cut a piece that is 3 1/2 inches by 5 1/2 inches. You'll score the short side at 1/2 inch and 3 inches, and then score on the long side at 2 1/2 and 3 inches. Basically, we're making box style pockets. And the reason we want to make sure the backs go mostly all the way up to the fronts is so that the tags don't stick when you try to put them down. You technically could make these pockets with shorter backs with only maybe a 1/2 inch, but then they might stick when you try to put them down. Next, we'll cut the back right pocket. Cut this one to 4 1/2 by 5 1/2. Score on the short side at 1/2 and 4 inches, and on the long side at 2 1/2 and 3 inches. And I've labeled mine back, left, and right, but honestly you can put them either direction. Right can be left, left can be right, whichever makes more sense to you. But the back ones in this case are taller than the front. And also modify these to fit whatever size tags you love to make. As long as your end measurements end up to be roughly 6 inches, you should be good to go. The next piece we'll cut is the front center pocket. Cut this at 4 by 3 1/4. Score on the short side at 1/2 and 2 3/4, and on the long side at 1 3/4 and 2 1/4. And you'll notice that I cut this wrong. Don't worry, I'll realize it in a minute. And here's where I realize I cut that wrong. No worries, we'll make it right. Next, we'll cut the front left pocket. We'll cut this at 4.5 by 3 1/4 and score on the short side at 1/2 inch and 2 3/4, and on the long side at 2 and 2 1/2. Next, we'll cut the front right pocket. Cut this at 4.5 by 2 1/2. This will be for your tag strings. You'll score the short side at 1/2 and 2, and the long side at 2 and 2 1/2 inches. All right, now that we've got all of our pieces prepared, we're going to fold these up into little pockets. We will notch out the inside scores here, making sure to leave the front side, cut that flat right on the score, and on the back flap, angle that one in. And then we'll just put glue on the sides and glue these up like a little standalone pocket. Again, the fact that we made these backs go all the way up, not only does it stop it from catching on your tags when you place them in, but it also just makes these that much sturdier. So this is the first time I'm trying this. I believe it's pronounced Collall, C-O-L-L-A-L-L glue. I've seen Sam Calcott use it a lot. I really like it. It just doesn't dry as fast as I'm used to, so making these boxes is a little harder than it would be with art glitter glue. I did make the last one with art glitter glue last year, and it has held up perfectly fine. So I would recommend either one. I feel like the Collall did a really good job too. Just depends on what you're used to working with. Collall's definitely a lot runnier and takes a longer time to dry. Art glitter glue dries really fast. I'm sure you could use Barely Arts here too. I love that glue as well. Go ahead and put together my front pockets here. Same thing. Make sure you do a straight cut on the front flap and an angle cut on the back flap. That'll just be easier to get it together. This one is the pocket that I screwed up the measurements on, so my back is shorter than my front. So I'm just going to try to line this one up to the bottom and make sure the bottom is flat. And then I'm not going to worry about the fact that the back is shorter than the front. I just made sure the taller part overlapped the shorter part. And then I'll just place it on where the shorter part's in the back. Luckily, it's not so far off that I think it'll catch too much on the tags. This is such a long video, guys. I'll try to keep the next one shorter, but I feel like this one, it helps to see all the steps because this one's a little bit more intense as far as steps that it takes to put this together. So how are you guys doing on your Christmas stuff? You got it all together? Everything wrapped already? Or are you like me and you're buried in stuff? I feel like I'm buried in unwrapped presents and things to do. It's gonna be a very busy lead up to Christmas for my house. So what do you guys do for Christmas? Do you do a lot of handmade gifts? I know we do at my house. 3 of the 4 little bears are still little enough that they like to do crafts with me. The 4th one, not so much, but I still have 3. I'm just going to glue these together, pinch them from the insides to make sure they stick really well. Art glitter glue dries so much faster This takes a little finagling because you have to hold it longer. You have to just pinch it together longer. It still works, and it might actually be the better glue for this. Just make sure you sit there and hold it for a little longer. I wouldn't recommend tape for this. I know some people do, but I have not had too much good luck with tape actually sticking together for very long. It always tries to come apart on me. Now, I am not going to do this front piece, but I'm going to show you how I would do it. Make sure you've got your pattern side up. Place down your front boxes. And I'm just going to use a little piece of low tack tape. This is just a washi tape from Echo Park. And just line that up to the bottom. And then take a pencil and trace your outline. Because no matter how perfectly you cut these and folded them, it's always going to be slightly different. So it's always better if you just take that pencil and you trace your actual outline. Make sure you leave the edges, because also what I like to do is use those edges as a wraparound and wrap it around both the front and back pieces, and it just makes for one cohesive look. You can't see the edges of the front and back boxes. So if I didn't use pretty paper, this is what I would do, but because I want to see that pretty paper, I'm going to leave it as is. So once that's done, I'm just going to glue the backs of all of these. And then I'll glue it to those back boxes, trying to line up the bottoms so that it can stand flat, or as flat as possible. And these are not the easiest thing to glue together, so just get your fingers in there and pinch them together. Sorry I'm out of frame, but I couldn't see what I was doing. So yeah, just get your fingers in there and pinch them all down. All right, and once that's done, I'm going to put glue on the whole back of this, plenty of glue. And then I'm going to again line it up to the bottom of this. Now I cut mine at exactly 6 inches, so I'm going to attempt to line this up perfectly. And this is when I realized I should not have cut this at 6 inches, because no matter how perfect, again, you think you are cutting and folding, at least mine are never going to be perfect enough to be right on. Now I think it's still good enough. I think it is pretty close to being right on. But yeah, if I were to do it again, I would give myself that extra 1/4 inch on that folder part so that it would be a little easier. I could just float them, kind of center it a little bit. And that is what I did with the other box. This one I was trying to conserve paper. All right, and I stick my little tags in there and show you how it works. What I have is 3.5 by 2 3/8 inch, or my standard tags ish. They can be a little bigger or smaller. My standard small tags are 3 inches by 2 inches, and my folded tags are 2 by 2. Well, technically 2 by 4, but folded down they become 2 by 2. And then also it will hold 3 by 3 cards and envelopes. So here I'm just cutting out the decorations for this. I love this little sentiment here. I'm merry and I know it. It's very good, especially because the person you're gifting this to, or if you're making it for yourself like I am, is going to be wrapping presents when they do this. So I just think it's such good vibes for wrapping presents. I'm merry and I know it. And then this one here I'm going to put in the middle of it. Again, I love this sentiment, slay all day. All right, there she is, all done. And I'm going to add some little Velcro dots. That's not needed. You don't have to do this. You could make a little belly band. The other one, I tried to use magnets, but I didn't like it. I'm just going to go ahead, because I've got that sentiment there, and put 2 Velcro dots on either side. Making sure to line it up, standing up so it sits flat when you press that together. And there you go. You got a little tag organizer. Guys, I know this was a long one, but if you've stuck with me this long, thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you make one yourself. I really enjoy mine. It's nice to keep everything all together. While you're wrapping presents, nice to kind of just be able to close it and put it up on the side for when you need it. Again, thanks for sticking with me that long. I am Stacy Eaton with 4 Little Bears. You can find me at the links below on social media and on Etsy. Any questions or anything that you'd like to know, let me know. Send me an email. But yeah, I hope you've had a great day, have a great week, and stay blessed.